Hello everyone, assalamu alaikum and welcome to this video. Here in this video I'm going to demonstrate how this glowing text effect is taking place behind the back, and I'm going to give you a detailed insight into CSS animations. And here you can see, like, I have only 29 lines of code here. I have only used HTML along with CSS animations and no JavaScript here. So in order to understand this effect, and in order to first let me demonstrate how you can use it. Like, suppose you want to use this 29 lines of code into your own presentation. uh, I suggest you just take this code and just make it white and apply it. See, you have a white background. Now you can put anything in here. Suppose you are doing any presentation. You put the presentation headline here, and I can just put my name here. You can just put anything you want your audience to give attention to. You just put it in there to highlight it, and I'm gonna put it back to black. So this kind of animation. So how this thing is taking place, in order to understand it, you have to understand a few things here. Suppose if I render it, the view page. So this is how it is rendered. The complete source is here. You have an HTML document. Inside it you just have a h1 tag with a class of glow. So now I have to implement the glow class, obviously. So here's the glow class implemented here, and in the class implementation I have an animation property here, which I have defined it as this. Like this, I have defined it. And in here, the first thing you have to do is to give it a name. In my case, I have given it glow class. I mean, the name is glow, name of the animation. And the next one is the loop duration or iteration duration. How long one step or one loop of the animation will take place. In my case, this is 1 second. See, 1 second, 1 second, just 1 second. You can bump it up or down as you wish. And the transition here is easing in and easing out. Suppose this thing is easing in and then easing out. This is not an abrupt change. Like, if you don't give it, then the effect will be too flashy for the audience, and it will rather hamper the presentation quality. Like, so if I remove it, see, this is not easing in out. Let's see, easing in out. So this is the normal case, and if I remove it, let's see what changes. See, there is no smooth effect. You lose the smoothness, like the smooth progression from high to low and low to high. You just lose it. Things are abrupt. I mean, you just lose the progression, smooth progression. This is called transition from the from state to the to. I just put it back there. Oh, sorry. Easing in out. So let me give it a more detail here. So if you go to CSS transitions, transition is a CSS property where you delay things and to render the progression from state to state. From a low state to high state, you have to demonstrate the progression using transition effect. These are mathematical functions. Like, see, transition timing function, transition property, duration, delay, and all this is a browser supports. I mean, all major browsers support this thing. And you have to give transition time, color, and everything. So what does it easing in out mean? Easing in out is a composite of easing in and easing out, especially the slow start and a slow end. The start and end are not abrupt, so that it is not too flashy or quick for the audience to grasp the effect of the animation. So I have used it both. You better use it both, because I'm going because I'm doing the alternate thing. I'm coming back to the point. The alternate effect is that alternating effect is like, see, it is going from low to high and then high to low. If I remove the alternate part, then you lose the high to low animation effect. So if I want to demonstrate here, and before that I just quickly want to cover this infinite thing. This is this was the iteration duration or loop duration. This is the complete animation duration, the total complete animation. How long does it take it? In our case it is infinite loop, or you can give any custom duration values here. And back to the alternate topic here, these things are alternating. If I remove it, let's see what happens. I removed it and applied it. See, it flashes, it glows up, flashes up. I mean, there is no glowing down. There is only glowing up. There is no glowing down. It is going back to the start. After going to the fullest, it is back to the start. So I mean, this is not a bad animation either, but I mean, flashing, it depends on your use case. But for for myself, I like the smooth progressions and easing in out and going up, low to high and then high to low. So I just put it back in, so to get the high to low effect, the smooth, like a heartbeat. I mean, it is very pleasing to me. Like, it's like a heart, like your heart goes up, bumps up and then down, beeps up and beeps down, like that. So this is why this is pleasing to me, and I hope this will be pleasing to your audience too. And before going to more deeper into the animation, you have to there's some prerequisite, is that you have to understand the text shadow property of CSS. How does text shadow take place? Because we are working with the text shadow, right? So you have to understand how this text shadow works in CSS. Otherwise you don't understand, because we are implementing glowing effects. So it is all about text shadows, right? From one set of text shadow state to another set of state. So in order to make you get a grasp of text shadow workings, I have uh, I want to show you something here. Text shadow takes four properties. The first one being the uh, the extent of the shadow towards the positive x-axis. Towards the positive x-axis, the extent of the shadow. If I bump it up, then what happens? See, there is a shift towards the positive x-axis. And the second one is towards negative y-axis, the I mean down the page. This one's positive and this one is negative, the down the page. If I bump it up too, then see, the shadow will go down, shadow goes down, see. And if I give it a negative to make it a positive, and then goes up the positive y-axis. So I'm just giving, okay, so this is the shadow here. And the third property here controls the blurring effect, how blurry it should be. If I bump it down, see, it is more clear, not, the shadow is not blur. If I bump it up, then the shadow gets more blur. See, you cannot even see it. So this is how blur is it. So that is how you can control this thing. And the fourth one is obviously color. If I say yellow or any custom hex value, you can do it. So everything about shadow you can control like this. And another thing I want you to understand is that this blur effect is also defines the extent and strength of the shadow. uh, let's try it other way. Suppose if I give 30 pixels here, it gets splashed out, right? and the intensity of the color goes down. The red becomes pinkish. You see that? So this thing you have to understand. The more extent you want to get of the color towards the outside, the 30 pixel, the whole area here, the splash area here is about 30 pixels, and the color goes down, color intensity goes down. You have to keep it in mind. And the next point I want you to understand is that uh, next point is that you can use multiple values. Like I have let me begin from, suppose this is the initial condition. I want to add pink in it. I can make it composite. I can make it composite with multiple values here. I add the pink here. Then I want to add black. Let's see how it goes. So I have red, pink, and black. Towards is going towards. Sorry, I haven't given black. So let's add some black in it. See, it goes darker, and I add more black in it. It goes more darker. If you want to make it more red, then add more red. Whatever color you want to add, the final thing will be a composite of all the values you give it here. And if I remove it, I remove the black, remove the black, the the black is gone. Remove the pink only, back to red. Now see, back to red. So this is how things work with CSS shadows. And back to our example here. Um, here the 10 pixel, the third value, I want you to notice that the third blur value, the blur value goes bigger. I mean, in the implemented, in the initial, this is initial set of values, this is the final set of, in the initial set of values, you there is a progression upward from 10 to 20, 30 up to 70 pixels. So from the inner side towards the outer side. I mean, what does it mean? What does 50 pixel? 50 pixel means that the shadow gets splashed out up to 50 pixel space, 25 up, 25 down. So the shadow gets splashed up to 50 pixel extent. And what is the color? Pink color here. So in here, from 30 to 70, you see dominance of pink. And from now, if we implement the two section here, you just copy the whole thing and then bump up the value by a margin like 10 pixel, 20 pixel. Apply the margin across the whole range. Here I've done 10, 30 to 40, 40 to 50, 50 to 60. You also have to change the color because from high to low, from low to high, the color changes. uh, so for the 10 pixel, for the first one, I have not changed it. Black to black, black to light black, pink to light black, pink to dark, I mean light black. I mean, this is not light black, this is towards the dark, I mean very close to black. So here there is dominant of black. What does it mean? It means that black overtakes. Suppose this is to the fullest, the animation goes to the fullest and this goes down from high to low. The black overtakes, you see, black overtakes from high to low. From low to high, pink overtakes. So there is an alternation. This is why you need to change the values. And you can try many different combinations and permutations with these values. You can test it out to customize your animation. It depends completely up to your choice and creativity. So I hope I have explained enough and given you insight how CSS transition and animations work. And I hope your journey towards understanding CSS and animation will be a happy journey. I hope you all the best. Thanks for watching. See you next time.